Welcome to the Food for Thought podcast with myself, Luke Gall, and my good friend Lucy Miller.
Hello, Happy New Year!
We're back after a really, really long time. It feels like ages. I think it's been a good month, pretty much dead on, since we recorded the last one.
Yeah, since the
It's
Christmas.
been a good week, a good month.
Yeah, some festive fun, some cheer.
Yeah, Christmas break, back, reality's kicked in.
Back to life, back to reality.
Thanks for that.
What is that?
What is what?
That song. Back to life, back to reality. What is that? Please comment.
I'm sorry to let you down, but I think you're on your own here.
Is it like E17? Backstreet's
so.
back.
Oh, right. I mean, that's not
That's
the
it.
17, that's the Backstreet Boys, because
That's
that's
what
why
it
it
is.
says Backstreet.
We got there.
Just saying, mate. Is it actually that song?
yeah.
It really is.
That's how it begins, I think.
We're back with the vengeance. We're back to do some spring cleaning, and that spring cleaning is to tidy up the reputation we have created for ourselves from Paring Greg's
Lovely
in the
bit
Christmas
of
special.
Lovely bit of imagery there.
Thanks, mate.
That was nice.
Worked hard on that. We need to clear this up once and for all. So we've got assortment,
Yeah.
a smorgasbord
smorgasbord.
of Greg's magic.
We had a bit of backlash actually from from the last podcast. People were not happy about the slating that Greg's got. But I'm gonna say it because I've said it already. Greg's can't do Christmas.
There it is.
They can't.
Put that in your blogs.
Yeah.
Greg's can't do Christmas.
Boo.
Yeah. So what we've done is we've just got a bunch of different Greg's-based things. We didn't get any sandwiches.
Because they're sandwiches, though they are sandwiches. They're not amazing. Had them before. I've had the tuna melt and the prawn. Not tuna melt, tuna crisp. Tuna crunch. And the and the prawn one. And I'd always get like 3/4 of the way through and then pawn it off onto Gabs, so. Too much.
That's a recurring.
A recurring theme.
That's something that you do a lot.
Yeah. I get bored of my dinner
You've said
and then
over the
just
course
feed
of how many
Gabriel.
podcasts we've had, like, I just part off to Gabs. We miss you, Gabs.
Hola.
Hola. Right, so we've went for the eat while chatting format again, so apologies for any chewing noise. People really don't like the chewing noise, but I'll try my best to.
And if you don't, I get that people don't like the chewing noise, but also it is about food. I try my
Yeah.
best.
We're trying our best.
Yeah.
We got to eat with our mouths shut. It's harder for Lucy than it is for me because her mic's further away, so it gets everything. Whereas mine, I can just move away from.
Enjoy.
Well, that's my way of saying if you hear any chewing noise, it's Lucy Miller's and not mine.
Probably. Sorry.
Hopefully, anyway. I opened there as you were chatting by eating the sausage roll, the classic.
Oh, have you gone for the sausage roll
I'm really
first?
sorry about that. It was on top of the pile.
Fair dues. Yeah,
You should
I
see this, the
halved
pile of
everything.
pastries we've got.
I took a little pic, so.
Oh, yes. I also, before we begin, had to make Lucy a cup of tea when we got in my house. We're in my bedroom today, and I had to make her a cup of tea because I dropped the cup of tea from Greg's on my front door.
I thought he dropped his keys, and I was like, oh no, mate, it's alright, we can just pick them up. I didn't get why you were so upset about the key falling, but
I made
it
a
was,
full on oh.
He was like,
Ah.
But it's very chilled in here. Luke's got his guitars mounted on the walls and insight to
Yeah.
Luke.
I've got if you want to have a little insight into my bedroom, it's a weird bedroom. It's above a garage. It's got a window at both ends of the room. It's a very thin but quite long
I didn't even
room.
notice that.
You got double window, and you've also got
Nice.
double radiator, which is very nice in the winter. A radiator at
Yeah.
both ends. There is a whiteboard which has the whole tone scale on it in its relation to scale degrees and stuff like that. It's
Classic
very
Luke.
classic me. And then there's some guitars over there. There's a very niche Friends poster there, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah,
The poster that Monica's got in her apartment.
it is indeed.
Yeah, that's about it really. Some PS4 games, a couple of books. Basically the only books I've ever read. The Virgin Suicides, 1984. I haven't even read The God Delusion, I just got it. I was vaguely interested in it. Shaun of the Dead, a classic.
It's very Luke, this room.
Yeah, I apologise for that. But
I like
it is,
it.
after all,
Your room.
my room.
Should we tell the people what we bought?
Let's do it. So I already said I'd been eating a sausage roll, so we got that. That didn't look good, did it?
No, it doesn't look good.
We got a sausage roll, we got a steak bake, a chicken bake, and a pizza slice.
And a pudding each. A
And a
surprise
pudding
pud.
each, which we'll talk about when we get to them, maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
I've so far eaten most of the chicken one, which was nicer than I expected. I thought it'd just taste like a roast dinner, but it didn't. It was
Chicken bake used to be my go-to.
kind of creamy, isn't it?
It's really nice. I prefer it to the steak bake anyway, but I think that's just because I prefer chicken to steak.
I thought they'd stop making the steak bake.
Nah, mate. It's a mainstay.
It's quite salty, but it's nice.
I'm just digging into the chicken.
I'm on the steak. Much better than the cheese and onion, which is what I used to get.
Yeah, you were contemplating getting that, weren't you? Just because obviously it's what you're used to.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way you're getting the veggie option.
For some reason in my brain, I thought it would be better than the steak bake. I don't know why.
In my brain, like, this is purely just like personal perception of like the world we live in, but Greggs is obviously a very northern thing. And if you had to pick an area, you've got some steak on your chin, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got it. It's gone. It's gone.
I can feel it.
If I had to say whether or not the north or the south was more of a vegetarian thing,
Yeah.
I think I'd say the south.
Oh, definitely the south.
You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So like, if you're gonna go to Greggs, mate, get meat. You know what I'm saying? It's a very northern thing, isn't it, Greggs? Although it's now taken over the world, quite frankly, Greggs.
I will say, the chicken bake and the steak bake kind of cold, not too bad. Like they've retained what they need to, but the sausage roll, the pastry's gone a bit hard
Okay.
because it's like it's not at its warmest, so
It's
it
just
tastes
the-
a bit different.
Which leads us nicely onto the first con of Greggs. As in, it's not a con, as in pros and cons. First con of Greggs.
The first whiz of Greg.
Yeah. Which is always a con with Greggs, doesn't matter which one you go to, is that you never know how
Will it-
long the thing you're going to get has been
So
sitting
true.
there for.
Will it be hot? Will it be cold? It's a risk you have to take for the price.
I think they should introduce a new system, and I'm thinking of this off the top of my head, so it's going to be flawed, right? But here's my system. You're only allowed to put things into like where they're being served in one batch at a time, so you can't add new stuff to the old stuff.
Yeah, you have to sell
And
it
you've
before
got a
you
timer
replace. Yeah.
above each product that is set at like say 30 minutes, maybe an hour. I reckon 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you put that timer off when you put the food in. The moment the timer goes past 30 minutes, that food is immediately half price.
What a good shout. Because it is sad, like when you buy a sausage roll and you bite into it, and instead of like a lovely soft pastry, you get the hard. Well, we've said this before because they sell cold sausage rolls for £1 in little bags.
Exactly.
So when you buy one from the hot counter and it is actually cold, you're like, well, what you're actually selling me is a 25p sausage roll.
Exactly.
I can see them over there in the corner.
And it's just like if someone said to me, "Oh, I don't know how much is a sausage roll? Like 80 pence,
Yeah.
85 pence or something." If someone said to me like, "Oh, is that good value for money?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't know is
It
the
might
answer.
be, yeah.
If you get a hot sausage roll for 80 pence, mate, you've got a bargain there. But if you get a cold sausage roll, it's not even worth it.
No, because you could have bought 4 for £1.
And apologies if 80 pence for a sausage roll, even if it's cold, makes me sound stingy.
That's not stingy.
But I
because
think-
they advertise it as hot. Kinda, because it's in the hot.
What I would
place,
say
mate.
though, in defence, in sort of being sympathetic towards the sausage roll, is that the nature of it, with it being not liquid in any way whatsoever, it gets cold quicker. Whereas I think there's something about how the steak and chicken bakes like create like a
liquid
pocket
keeps
of
it
warmth
hot,
because
yeah.
of the texture of it.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
Chicken and steak bakes definitely stay hot for longer. Like the outside of my chicken bake there was cold, but the inside was warm. And that's generally how it would work, which means you can get away with certain pastries better than others when they're cold. So I would always get a chicken bake at Greggs because I can trust that even if it's just warm,
It's still going to be
it's
warm.
all right. Whereas sausage roll, if you get it even sort of lukewarm, it's not good.
What we
Apologies.
Nice.
I moved away from the mic, but that definitely got picked up.
There was no. Even my mic would pick that up.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We've thought as well that they've changed the pizza slice because usually it's like a flat, triangular, skinny big piece of business, but this is like a. This is thick.
Yeah, it's What are your opinions on deep pan over a thin crust?
I don't think I've ever had a deep pan pizza before.
Okay.
Is this what that
I mean,
is?
I definitely think it would constitute. It's definitely closer to a deep pan than it is to a thin and crispy, isn't it?
Well, I'll say this. When I eat a pizza, what I'm in it for is the topping. Don't get me wrong, the dough is important, because that's a base, it's the foundation. But what I'm in
About
it for
lives.
is the topping. My opinion on this is that the topping is better than on the thin and crispy one. It's nicer. But the base, I can take it or leave it. To me, that's not a pizza. To me, that's like a flatbread of some kind.
Yeah.
Pizza to me is like flat and triangular when you cut it.
Yeah, it's kind of... It's thicker than, like, a deep pan, like any kind of pizza. Like, even if you got, like, a deep pan pizza, it wouldn't have this much bread on
It's right
base of
dense.
it. Right dense.
I picked that up from somewhere. I don't know where that's come from. I didn't used to say right.
Quite northern, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I don't know where. I've like picked it up by osmosis from something, but
Hey, we're happy to have you.
if anyone wants to try and dig out... Ooh, I just booted the mic. I'm just so relaxed. Yeah. If anyone knows someone that says that I might know. Tell them to stop it.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No, it's fine.
We like it. Man, it's really hard to eat and talk at the same time.
It is.
Apologies for any of the awkward silences. They're not awkward in the room, I must let you know. We're just eating.
All noises.
We haven't
Me
run
and
out of
Luke
things to
fell
say.
out.
We physically cannot have anything to say.
After he dropped my tea, I harboured a lot of resentment towards Luke.
I think probably a better tea.
Yeah, it's nice.
In a cup that says, I'm 1 fart away from a poo.
Which to say I'm not.
I don't believe her.
I don't think Greg's will do that to me.
No. Coffee does that to me, though, so let's pray.
It really does that to you.
Yeah. Oh, this is common knowledge, is it? I didn't need to say
No,
that.
but
You already knew that.
you've told me before.
Yeah, because obviously if I'm at home, I'm not worried about it, but I actually genuinely sometimes gets to me at uni if I'm in for full days and I have a coffee at 11 a.m, I'm like, uh-oh.
What time in the day?
Dyson with death, mate. Dyson with death. There, 11 a.m. having a coffee, if I was planning on not having a, at uni, that is serious
It's
risk.
out the window.
It's like, just accept your fate. You're going to have to go to the
Everyone
toilet.
says the upstairs toilets though are quite nice because they're like isolated. If you go to Newcastle Uni,
The
Armstrong,
studios. Armstrong.
Yeah, Johnny at least is always going. He goes upstairs. I think Zach goes upstairs. There's
Really?
like one that's like a bit isolated, so that there's you can just be in peace.
I must say that in the music studios, that toilet on the first floor, that's like on its own.
Oh yeah,
That one's also quite sought after. People will like go out their way to go to that
To go
toilet
to
instead
it.
of the ones that are like together.
fair dues.
And there's always going to be, especially during the daytime, you feel too guilty going to the disabled toilet, which is the one you really want to be in.
Definitely.
It's the most spacious, generally the nicest toilet for like hygiene and.
because it's not used as frequently.
No. But it's probably used far more frequently than it should be because I imagine that 20% of the time it's used is actually for someone who's disabled.
Yeah,
I'd go less actually, 10%.
fair
1
dues.
in 10
yeah.
people who use that toilet are disabled.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty as charged.
The other 9 are desperate for a wee.
Or just snobby about which toilet they want to use. Like, I don't care if it's a disabled toilet, I'm
I'm
using it
used
because it's
anyway.
the nicest one. It's the nicest one, so I'm going to
Makes
use
me
it.
feel a bit intimidated because it's got all the levers and stuff in it. Like all the obviously the business to aid whoever's in there.
Yeah.
So it just makes me feel I'm like, oh, it's definitely not for me.
There's like wires flying about and stuff because there's like an emergency.
Exactly.
button
There's that
thing.
danger that you pull the cord that's actually an alarm. Everyone's got an anecdote about someone who's done that. And
Really?
yeah, where they're like, oh yeah, my mum did that once. Like thought it was the light and pulled it. I'm not gonna be that guy. I don't need assistance, and I'm not gonna tell you that I do.
But then,
By alarm.
yeah. What I would say is, because I've just had the steak bake, I didn't think it was very good.
Bit gravy-y, wasn't it?
Bit gravy, and the pastry on the outside wasn't as crispy as the chicken bake.
the
I got a
chicken
bit more of a
bake
nice
won
crunch.
for
Chicken
me.
bake won there, but
Yeah.
we don't know if that's just because of the particular chicken bake and the
Could be.
particular steak bake we got.
Because it was creamy, but not too creamy. When I bit into it and saw the colour of the inside, I was like, oh no, this is going to be like eating a bad carbonara.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Bad carbonara. There's no such
Everyone's
thing as
had a bad carbonara.
Actually, I have. I had one at Jamie's Italian. It was a really bad carbonara.
There should be no cream in a carbonara.
Whoa.
They don't contain cream.
Whoa. Yeah, but like, an English carbonara does though.
What is an English?
Not a legit carbonara, like
Oh, okay, like an imitation carbonara.
like a 50p jar from Asda. of carbonara.
Even that might not have cream in it. 50p.
Well, whatever it is, I enjoy it. But I had,
Yeah,
a
it
really,
tastes
I had
nice.
a really bad carbonara at Jamie's Italian once, actually. I might as well tell this story since it's a food podcast.
Bad carbonara is not worth eating. Like
No, it was
just
really
isn't.
lemony.
Ooh.
Yeah, so like it was restaurant week, so we went to Jamie's Italian for someone's birthday. And yeah, and it was just really like because they had a really like small specific menu for restaurant week.
Yeah.
Because they were already clearly very stingy. They were like, if you're gonna get cheaper food off us, it's gonna be like 3 things. So the menu was tiny, and carbonara was on it, so I was like, fine. And then I got like the tiniest portion of carbonara, like really small. Like we had to have food afterwards. We went to Chili Road. Like it wasn't just me that like everyone.
no,
we
it was
basically went to
that
Tesco
bad.
afterwards and got a bit of food. Like it wasn't a full meal afterwards, but we got like extra food
Yeah,
to fill
like
us up.
nibbles.
Yeah,
That's deep.
It's bad. Yeah.
What pasta did they give you with the carbonara?
Ooh.
Was it like a penne or a spaghetti
think it was-
situation? Or like a linguine?
I think it was linguine. Is linguine spaghetti-esque but flattened?
Well,
Which one's the one that's like
The
spaghetti?
actual,
but, oh, is that, no, that's
the actual like rectangular-y one is tagliatelle.
tagliatelle. I think it might have
Give
been
you that.
tagliatelle.
Okay.
So I like that pasta. It's good
I do.
pasta, but it tasted minging, man.
Oh.
It was like they like put like a slice of lemon on top of it as well. So like everything
That
tasted
already
like
is
lemon.
a warning
They were just trying to
sign.
be posh, trying to be like fancy with it. Just give me a nice carbonara. Like they put a little flavour that you imagines. They're like, oh, this will be nice. We'll give it a nice little hint of lemon, bit of zest. All you could taste was a lemon. Like you couldn't taste anything else. I had lemon on pasta. Not nice, right? So I had that. It was gross. Anyway, back to the food, the actual food that we're eating. Chicken bake was much better than the steak bake. I really think they should do that 30-minute timer thing
I do.
because
I
they
think,
could make. I think they'd sell more.
and waste less.
Because it could just be like a thing, like every Greg's at 28 minutes past the hour and 58 minutes past the hour is going to have half-price food.
Food, yeah.
And there'll be a rush like every half an hour, and they'll always get rid of all of their food. They'll make sure they can sell the majority of it because people are going to go in for half-price pastry.
Yeah.
And if you really want a hot pastry and you want to pay full price, then you get a big queue just after half past.
Yeah.
But people know what they're getting. And they'll always, and even if, I don't care if you want to increase the price of everything by like 10, 15 pence to do that. Because you're then giving us the luxury of knowing we're going to have a hot pastry.
What you'd
But
have
I'd
to
do
do is take some sort of survey of how many people are actually disappointed by the heat of their Greggs. Because if they deemed it a big enough problem, they'd probably...
I mean,
something
let's be honest, Greg's aren't struggling, but they're never going to struggle.
Greg is sitting in his house made of solid gold.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
He's
he is.
fine.
But I also want to mention the breakfast at Greg's before we move on.
Okay, when do they stop serving breakfast? Because
I think it's
people keep
11
telling
o'clock.
me, that they sell croissants. And I'm inclined
Sure
to believe
do.
that they don't.
No, they do.
I've never seen it.
I can prove it.
I don't believe it.
I've seen it many a time.
Are they big?
Average.
Okay.
They're not like mini croissants.
Are they as big as the Sainsbury's ones?
I would say maybe
A bit
fractionally smaller.
Okay. Because those are quite big.
And you can get, I think, definitely almond croissants, and chocolate croissants.
Ooh.
I don't know if they do just plain, but they do almond and chocolate, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, they're good. Their porridge is good. Greg's do a good porridge.
Their porridge does look good.
It's cheaper than Campus Coffees, for example.
I bet.
It
And like
is.
Pret and stuff.
Oh, I don't even think about Pret. I don't think I've ever been in Pret.
No.
But yeah, so I think the breakfast is good. You've probably never had a Greg sandwich, have you? Because you've just recently
Meat sandwich.
Yeah.
I remember
like
I
breakfast
used...
sandwich.
Oh no. I bought one of their toasties once and took the ham out. So it was a
What a sorry state
sad
of
cheese
affairs.
toast. Oh, not worth it. Also not worth it for the price because their toasties are actually about £3.75.
They're less than that.
£3.25?
Yeah.
They're above £3, which already
The
is
cheapest
not cool.
one, which is I think like ham and cheese, is I think maybe like $2.75, but that's like you can't get it with a deal or anything. And considering you can get
Yeah,
a baguette
it's
for the same
outside of
size
deal.
for
Yeah.
£3. The student deal at Greg's has made my life. It was great.
It is good.
Sandwich, drink, free sweet treat or sausage roll. £3.
The free sweet treat really is... Because, like, my ultimate Greg's experience is Greg's tea or coffee, a big one, and a gingerbread man.
Wow.
I love it. I love the
So
gingerbread
basic,
man.
but good.
One thing I wish they'd do with it, though, like, obviously it has the standard Smarties buttons, but, like, I used to go to this bakery near my house in Manchester. It's called, I think it was like Hampson's or something. You know, the little bit niche ones, but you
Yeah.
still know it's a chain.
Yeah.
Before Greg's really took over and like ran them all out of business, and they used to like dip the hands and feet in a little bit of chocky.
Yeah,
so they
that's
were
the
wearing
best.
gloves and socks. So good. It's so good. Like, even if you're eating it as it is, because you get like hard chocolate and then the gingerbread's a little bit soft. But imagine that business in tea. Just a whole nother textural experience.
We've got so many ideas.
Greggs, just get the chocolate out.
Yeah. Don't be stingy.
Although I don't think they probably sell enough gingerbread men for that to be worth it.
Yeah. Would you like to move on to dessert? Have you decided that you're not going to eat? Okay.
I've left the ends, but I
Okay.
ate the middles.
Well, why don't you give me all of that?
Okay.
Not to eat, because you need your dessert on a plate.
You can eat it if you want.
I mean, I might eat some.
You can nibble at it.
Definitely ain't going to be having any of that steak bake.
Oh no.
I'm gonna say that.
A little bit of the steak bake went on my chicken and I was a bit sad.
Should I just bin? I'm just going to bin this.
Okay. Don't put it in your bin though, because it'll make your room smell.
No, I'm going to put it in this.
Okay.
Oh.
Or we could have a repeat of the tea
No,
situation.
I'm not going to go any further with this.
I'll just eat the turnover off of
Are
the
you
Greggs
sure?
wrapper. Yeah. I'm not fussy.
Okay, let's do that.
Today's a relaxed podcast.
Yeah, it's very cosy. I like it.
Yay.
Very relaxed.
Ooh. Oh, they put cream in it.
Yeah, it's a
Didn't
cream
know
apple turnover.
that. Ooh, there's a rogue bit of jam on mine as well.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know. It might be a taste sensation.
So, as we've just said, Lucy Miller's got apple turnover with cream in it.
Ooh, yeah.
And I have got... What have I got, Lucy Miller?
All he's doing his classic wiggle thing, right? So when Luke buys this thing, it's called... What's it called?
It's called a Bavarian slice. It's basically a custard slice.
So he wiggles it apart so that one... Can you explain your process to the people?
Well, basically, it's really, really hard to eat as a whole.
Yeah, it's like a towered...
It's like,
pudding.
on the bottom layer, you've got, like, whatever the hell this is, like pastry. What kind of pastry is it, like?
I don't know. That's like the bottom of a Bakewell tart.
Yeah.
That's what
And,
that
like,
is.
So, like, it literally is, like, 2 layers of that with a bit of jam in the middle of it. And then you've got a big, thick layer of, like, the custardy stuff. You get in custard slices. So, it's not cream, but it's not custard. It's that weird custard slice type thing.
Yeah, it's like a bit jelly, so it retains its own shape.
It's got a bit of structural integrity to it.
Yeah.
And then a top layer of the same
Creme
pastry.
pat, that is, I think.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know that. And then the top layer is like the Bakewell stuff again, but layered with ice and sugar. So like layered with icing, and it's really, really good.
And then rogue chocolate stripes on it. Does that one have that?
It's not chocolate stripes though.
Oh, the last
just a
time you got
colouring.
one, it was like brown. Oh, is it not chocolate?
It's just colouring.
Okay.
It's just normal icing. But basically what I do is I try and wiggle the top layer apart from the bottom layer, so they both end up still with some custard on them. But it means
one
you
with
can
more.
eat them both without... Because basically if you try and bite into it, all the custard comes out of the corners, like the edges.
Of course.
Does that make sense? So you put all the pressure on the top and the bottom, and then all the custard just comes out of the sides. So if you put it in half, then you've only got... Now, if you can envisage, I'm now eating the bottom layer of the Bakewell type pastry with custard on top of it, but then nothing above that. So I just bite on top of the custard and then bite underneath the Bakewell bit.
Yeah.
And then I just eat it with no mess, within reason.
Yeah. It's just funny to watch.
It's a lot of hard work, but it's worth it for the most delicious dessert that I think Greggs do. I'm going to have a bite. I'll see you in a minute.
I've just been yamming my turnover while Luke was explaining that. I also separated mine.
We need to do shifts, me and you, on the microphone, like when I'm eating, you talk for a while.
Yeah. Let him enjoy his pudding.
So you tell them about your apple turnover then. While I
Okay.
eat.
So, as expected, it's like the triangular puff pastry kind of situation. And then a rogue cream. Until I found this Greggs pudding, I'd only ever seen like apple turnovers that are enclosed, like a pastry, like a pasty. But this one's got cream in, and I think all the apples on this layer, because I've got quite a lot of cream going on, that I'm going to eat separately off the end of my finger. Because let's keep it classy.
It looks pretty good though.
It's alright.
Are you a fan of the addition of cream, or would you rather it stayed the way it was? Or...
Ooh. I don't know, you know. Because it tastes like good quality cream. It doesn't taste like spray cream. But...
Oh, it's proper cream. It's
Yeah.
like proper bakery cream. Like you can't get that from a squirty cream or something like that.
But
Something
when I get the apple turnover, I'm in it for the apple. And the cream masks the apple. So... I'm neither here nor there on the cream.
I also would get a turnover though just for the pastry, because I think the pastry's really good. It's like quite. I don't know. I'm really bad with it. Like we should really do our research, but whatever kind of pastry it is that's on an apple turnover, like it's not the most common pastry you can get, and like it's you kind of get a turnover because of the pastry as well. Because you can't just get that on any dessert like
The
that.
layered effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, let me have a quick Google, because I'm just embarrassed that I don't even know these things. I bet you it's a really famous kind of pastry as well. Like, what's like choux pastry? I can't remember. Oh, it's
Choux
slightly
pastry is
different.
profiteroles, isn't it?
Yeah, it's slightly different in it.
Or eclair.
So let's get on to right. What pastry do you use in an apple turnover?
I got to the bit of jam.
Oh, puff pastry.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But I like, especially in the context of all the other desserts that Greg's do, like you can't get that pastry, I don't think, apart from basically on an apple turnover.
I think maybe the reason I like it is because it's kind of like a croissant. It has like the wet middle
Yeah.
and then the crunchy layeriness. Really, my food.
The addition of cream really does turn it from being like sort of a bit of a sweet treat into like a tall, decadent
Nightmare.
thing. Yeah, I mean it becomes a logistical nightmare, 100%. But I mean you've just heard my Bavarian slice issues, so you're not the only one. Wait, I'm gonna have to burp again. Apologies, everyone.
Ooh, that one was more consistent.
4 out of 10.
Just one note, if you will. No after burp.
So apparently it's just puff pastry as well. My God, the versatility of puff pastry, man.
That's puff pastry.
Apparently, yeah.
No.
It's called
Even
it.
in the Greg's one.
Can you say that what that says? That French. Those 2 French words.
That was the bed, by the way. I didn't just fart on this podcast. Let me see. Millefeuille. That's with a mouthful of turnover. Millefeuille, I think. It means 1,000 layers, I think.
Ah, makes sense.
1,000 somethings.
Yeah.
Because it is...
It's vanilla slice or custard slice, also known as the Napoleon.
Okay.
French pastry. Okay. Google it. You'll see what I'm on about. You probably already know what I'm on about, but what's interesting now
You're probably
is that
shouting millefeuille at this at the podcast.
Wow. You learn something new every day. The versatility of puff pastry. Completely different to what she just had. Completely different to what Lucy just had in
But
terms
made
of
of the same thing.
but the same pastry.
It's what shows, guys, diversity. So
Nice job,
important.
puff pastry. Seriously.
But we're all the same deep down. We're all made of puff pastry.
Yep, that's what she meant. Right, what do we
All
need?
the
What
same.
are the things we need to hit that we hit in every podcast? We got price.
The price was good, but as we've discussed, value for money at Greg's really does depend on the heat of what you're buying. With a pudding, you're safe. They're good. Oh, actually, I've interrupted myself there. What I wanted to mention, I was thinking about this last night, was Milligan's. Have you ever been to Milligan's?
I certainly have.
Have you seen the size of the desserts in Milligan's?
I haven't. No.
Like cheaper or about the same price as Greg's. It's like Greg's on steroids. Like the food is enormous. They had apple turnovers and they're like 1.5 times bigger. Everything's just massive and looks good.
So we're gonna have to do Milligan's then, are we?
Maybe because they do like bacon sandwiches and stuff.
Yeah, they do the breakfast thing as well. Quite well.
I told Gabs I went there the other day, and he was like, "Oh mate, Milligan's." He was like, "Really?" I was like, "Don't diss Milligan's."
Oh, okay. This is like the opposite of Greg's. Like, if you
Isn't it?
say bad things about Greg's, people are powering you. And if you say good things about Milligan's, people are doing the same thing.
Yeah,
It's not on that.
people
we're
are
gonna have to,
mean about it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to sort that out.
Yeah, I think we should go.
It's funny because the position that you're drinking that from, I can see what it says on the cup every single time you have a mouthful.
Does it say
It's like
anything?
really-
Have you ever seen those cups that say something on the bottom so that when you lift them, it's like, "Oh, I'm a knobhead" or
Yeah,
whatever?
like a tash or something. So like, it looks like the tash is at your face. Excuse me. Right. So the cost, yeah, I think I spent $5,
yeah.
but that's because I got a chicken bake, a pizza slice, a hot drink, and a Bavarian slice.
How expensive is pizza slice?
It was like $1.75.
Well, that's not too bad because that's
It
quite
actually
thick.
used to be slightly cheaper. I think it used to be like $1.45, but those ones were definitely different to the originals.
Yeah, that's
They were
like
thicker.
two of the
It had
original ones on top of each
is
other.
Is it bruschetta or bruschetto or something? That's like the bread.
Oh, right.
I think that's what it came up in the till as.
Okay.
It can't be bruschetta. Bruschetta's like the crispy bread, isn't
No,
it?
it doesn't taste like bruschetta.
It's not bruschetta.
Is it
It's,
ciabatta?
no, it was really similar to that word. It was like really, really similar to that word.
Bruschetta and ciabatta's the only ones that I can...
It's not. It's neither of those. Okay, well, whatever it was, I'm basically going to get Greg's menu.
Greg's PDF online menu.
But yeah, whatever it was like not just pizza slice going through the till. It was like pepperoni
Specific.
and then like an Italian bread
Yeah.
name. Let's have a look. Oh, they've got a menu.
As if.
What's it under?
Oh, yeah, they sell soup. Oh, I forgot. We could have got a soup.
What is it going to be under? Pizza. It's not
Mm,
under bakes. It's not a sandwich.
no,
Drinks and snacks.
maybe. Also, shout out to Ben Richardson. He said the ginger beer is really good. Sorry, Ben, I just didn't want a ginger beer today.
Yeah,
Because
we
Greg's do their
apologise.
own little line of drinks, don't they?
Yeah.
They sell Coke, but they sell
Yeah, it is.
Greg's water, etc.
No, it doesn't say
But
that.
if you want a ginger beer, I heard theirs is decent.
Oh, it's not that word. It's that word.
What does it say?
This word.
Can you really zoom in on it? Focaccia. Okay.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I haven't got my glasses
I think
on,
it's
so-
that. I was totally wrong, then I apologise.
That makes
I
sense,
swore I
though.
haven't read that, but I must have. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, value for money. Greg's today was pretty decent because, as Luke said, I got three things: sausage roll, a bake, and
4 things. Sausage roll, a bake, a dessert, and a hot drink.
Yeah, and their hot drinks are decent, you know.
Yeah, Greg's coffee, honestly, is not
all
bad.
right.
Really not bad. Especially because when you get... Do you know you can get a bacon and sausage sandwich
Mm.
and a hot drink for £2?
And that's insane.
Yeah.
Because if you want actually probably a smaller coffee than what you've got there, from like Cafe Nero or wherever,
Definitely the same size.
it's like
at
$3.25,
Like, look, like,
$3.75.
it's not much. Like, it's a little bread roll.
Yeah.
But, like, if you get
Your
bacon and
meat's in
sausage,
there.
you get two sausages and 2 slices of bacon in that bun
In
that
that
I'm showing
bun?
Lucy Miller right now on the screen.
Yeah,
Plus, like, ketchup or whatever, and then a hot drink, which is the same size as any hot drink you get normally.
for
For
£2.
£2.
That's
Actually,
bigger than-
I'm lying. It was $2.25.
Uh-huh.
It's £2 if you get one ingredient.
Oh right,
But
but
it's
you
25 pence for
in
like
it.
an extra ingredient. $2.25 for a bacon and sausage sandwich is
And I honestly think that cup is larger than like a medium in most places.
yeah.
Like a
at the
regular.
very least, it is the same. At the
Yeah,
very least,
at the-
which
yeah,
still makes
agreed.
$2.25
It's
for a
certainly
hot
not
drink.
smaller.
No, so like that's really good.
And their latte is decent.
It is, and you can upgrade because you don't know anything about these breakfasts, do you? So I'm telling you,
Never had a Greg's breakfast.
and you can upgrade this sandwich to a baguette.
Ooh,
for a
because they
quid.
can warm their baguettes. Yeah.
Oh, not those though. But like you just get like a French baguette like that.
Ooh.
And you get like 50% more of anything, I think. Or like so like if you got bacon and sausage, you'd normally get 2 of each,
But
and you get 3 of each.
Okay.
In a baguette, and it's another £1.
Yeah.
So it's like a proper full-on breakfast.
If you're
that.
really
Like, if you want to
hungry.
really be filled up, and it's
Yeah.
obviously with the same hot drink and stuff like that.
Nice.
It's really good. I've never been on Greg's website before. It's pretty good.
They've got like pictures of the food and everything.
It's really
like I didn't
tasty.
think this was a thing.
Yeah. Oh, just a baguette for breakfast. It's just delightful.
Also, Greg's like time.
Croissants.
Ooh.
Told you. Oh, they
that looks-
they do a plain one.
Looks
I just said
nice.
do. They do. Let's see what else they do. Almond. Yep. Oh, they don't do chocolate croissants. They do pain au chocolats.
Fair.
So there's your 3 breakfast
You 3
pastries.
pastry staples.
The almond croissant, the all butter croissant, and the pain au chocolat. Porridges I already talked about are really good.
Yeah.
We should do this we never do this for any of the podcasts. Just get the menu up and
And
go
see
through
what
stuff.
they've got going on.
Those breakfast sandwiches, I tell you what, mate. Honestly, just get one day now that you're back on the meat. You don't even need to get a baguette. But
Time wise, like most you're ever going to wait for a Greg's is like 5 mins.
yeah,
If they're bringing out a new batch of sausage rolls.
that's it. But imagine like you never wait for a new batch of things, and it's just the waiting time in the shop. I reckon you're not waiting for any food. That's the thing ever.
Yeah.
But like, obviously, if you're waiting for a new batch of something, but like you're not actually waiting if the food's already there. Like the serving process takes very, very, very little time.
They just pick it up.
It's immediate,
Yeah.
and the sandwiches are pretty quick as well in the morning.
Yeah.
They're pretty quick.
The hot drinks.
Like I say,
again.
can you help me out? What is the flaw in my system for the bakery thing?
For the time.
Yeah, I want the criticism. Tell me what the flaws are. It can be half hour or hour. I think it has to be every half hour because there's no way you can let pastries sit for 45 minutes and still think they're the same.
Yeah.
Half an hour seems like a reasonable amount of time.
The only issue you'd have would be if you've got a large number of sausage rolls that are then in reduced price, you perhaps would need always an open bay for the next batch to go in and begin their 30-minute countdown. So you'd probably have to have 2 separate bays where you'd potentially actually get a... Because imagine arriving perhaps at like 1:15 the hour and your sausage roll that's just come out, probably still quite warm. You'd probably be like, for the extra 35p, I'm going to get the hotter one. I think what would happen, on a large scale at least, would be that you'd get a real build-up of the reduced ones.
Yeah.
Because most people coming in would actually have the choice of both and go for the hotter one.
Yeah, but then obviously you could... It depends how much how much cheaper it was.
Yeah.
Because if you could get a Greggs sausage roll that was cold for 25 pence,
But people can already do that, can't they?
but you have to get 4.
You do. You can't just buy.
You can't just... It's like sometimes when I go to Tesco, I just immediately go to reduced section just in case.
Yeah.
In case there's like a
Have
nice
a look.
sandwich that I would have got, which is like now £1 instead of £2.50 or something.
The issue as well is like people's maybe like attitude towards money. Like for most people, the difference between the cold cheaper one and the probably quite still warm 50p more one.
Yeah.
They'd be like,
they'd
well,
just
it's
pay
already
it.
under £1,
They'd
so I'm just going to pay it.
That's the thing, isn't it?
I don't think people are seeking a food bargain
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much that they'd really opt for the 25p
So why?
one.
What would stop them from when they get a batch that go cold, assuming that they've just been cooked fresh that morning?
Yeah.
Just getting 4 of them and
Bagging
packing them
them
up
up.
into a 4-pack and then putting them on sale as a 4-pack.
That might be what they do. I don't know where they get those four bagged ones from. I don't know if they're made separately to
That's
go
it.
in
Well,
the
they
bags.
must, right? Because you couldn't just put them in the oven and then when they come out, you immediately make a 4-pack because then they're a 4-pack of hot sausage rolls, which is not the point. You know what I mean? You couldn't put them
Yeah.
on sale in Greggs in the pack of 4 for £1 but still be warm.
Yeah, they
Because
have
then
to be
people
cold.
would be like, "Oh, I want them." Like, there's 4 for £1 and they're all still warm. I could have them now, and it would be like dirt cheap.
Maybe they only bag them up once they're certain that they've gone cold.
So maybe they already do that.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I'm surprised no one complains about that being like, well, it's been sitting there for an hour now, and people have been looking at it and like it might have been being fondled by other sausage rolls, and then it gets put in a pack and sold to me.
What I've neglected to mention so far is that when I lived in Leazes Parade in first year, we would go to the Asda in Fenham, which is maybe about 15-minute walk, maybe
Yeah.
20. One day we stumbled across what they called the Greggs Outlet.
Yeah. There's a one
Mental.
in Walker.
You can buy, honestly, like, oh, what was it? We got like a mad deal. I think it was cookies or something. But honestly, it's cheap as cheap can be. It's like 4 cookies for 50p, or it's even cheaper than that. But
Yeah.
that's where they send the things that are absolutely needing selling.
Yeah.
And it's just so cheap.
I
think it was
I understand, obviously, basically what I'm realising is, of course, there's not an easy fix to this whole cold pastry problem.
Yeah.
Because if there was, they would have done it by
Can
now.
they make the little counter things hotter? Or does
That's
that
it.
become
Why don't they just turn
does
it
it
into a
become
hot counter?
a hot plate, like a buffet?
Yeah. Like, why don't they just turn that into sort of like a... like they put an extra layer on it from our side so that no one can like sort of touch it and burn their hands.
Yeah.
But you just turn it into like a sort of warm...
An incubator,
like, sitting
yeah.
area. Yeah.
Because,
Or like if they were just a hot plate type thing.
yeah, and then have the
Um,
staff wear sort of appropriate handwear.
Or even if the hot plate was the only thing that was hot, then you don't even have to like enclose them and keep them incubated. Just the bottom of them will be warm,
Be hot, yeah.
which will hopefully keep warmth to the
I
whole
just
pastry.
I think in a lifetime where we can invent the phone and the aeroplane, there must be a way that we can keep the Greggs sausage roll hot. Like there's got to be.
Yeah,
Greg needs to think about it.
yeah, you got to get on that, Greg.
Innit? You've devised a whole business plan, Greg, and you operate like nationwide. So keep your
Based
rolls
on the
hot.
premise of you supply people with hot pastry.
Yeah. Deliver.
Please deliver that. We're sick of the cold sausage rolls.
Yeah.
The chicken and the steak I can get away with, but cold sausage roll, we've got no excuses for that. Like
It
I'm
does.
just
It
sorry.
changes the roll.
It just becomes like it turns from a tasty thing into just a thing that's like that.
That you have to eat because you bought it.
Like when you go to McDonald's and get cold chips or something.
Oh.
See, you felt that. You felt that deep down in your very soul.
Yeah, when you get end of the batch chips.
You look so sad.
It is sad. It is sad.
Yeah, it
Who
is
had
sad.
someone had chips the cold chips, not the one. Or when they make a milkshake and they put too much flavouring in it. And you can just taste the syrup.
Or when you get like,
Because you can't drink it, it's not drinkable.
or when the other way around is when like, and this people might not care about this as much as I do, but when you get like a drink at a bar that's like a soft drink, and like it's got like barely any syrup in, or
When there's-
far too much,
when
and like the
the-
mixture's all wrong, and it's like totally, it doesn't taste like Pepsi anymore. It just
When the
tastes like
bag
this
for the
horrible-
draft syrup is running out,
Yeah.
and what you're getting mainly is the soda water.
And basically, you just drink soda water that's coloured into Pepsi and doesn't taste
Yes.
like Pepsi.
Yeah. I used to work at a bar and that was a thing. Like someone came back and was like, "This Coke's not okay." Because
Yeah.
obviously, when you're pouring it, you can't tell
Of course you
what the
can't, yeah. You
deal is.
can't
if
just
it's
drink
the
it
right
for 'em.
colour. Exactly. I can't be like,
give
"That's
the,
good
give
to
the
go."
little gun a quick squirt in the mouth. Like, yeah, that tastes good. And then like
Yes,
carry
sir.
on.
That's a good one. Enjoy.
Yeah, enjoy this one.
He brought it back. He was like, "Oh, I don't think this is quite right. Can you taste it?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right then." And I was like, "Sorry."
So
I
what's
think
the bar? What the bar's like on that? They're fine with it. They're like, yeah, it's not yours.
Oh yeah. Because like you don't want to be serving people like grim drinks. You can't just be like, "Tough luck, drink that Ming and Coke."
Yeah.
So you just change the bag of like Coke syrup, and then you have to run it through for a bit, and then
It's
good.
too strong
That's
at first,
fine.
like, or is it just it needs to get there?
Yeah, because obviously
still keeps
it's
using
still
the
in the
old
cable, so the new
Yeah.
juice needs to push the old juice out. So you run it
Yeah.
through. You know, like when you change the barrel on a
On like
on a beer,
Yeah.
it's foam for like 3 glasses, and then you get beer.
Yeah.
It's like that.
What else we got to talk about? We got to wrap this up, I think.
Yeah, we've had we've had value for money, speed. You're
Good
not
and
gonna
good, basically.
yeah, you're
Good
not
and
going to
good.
struggle to find a Greggs.
Hell no, especially
I've
not in
been
the north.
Yeah, we've been in situations where we've gone to one and the queue's been too big, so you just go to another one. That's not hard.
Well, let's give them a really, really brief map of Greggs in the city centre. Dead quick.
So if you approach the top of Northumberland Street, you've already got one to your left next to Cafe Nero and one to your right in the bus station. Then you begin to move down and you've got that big one where they sell like potato wedges and that.
Where's that?
On
The
the
one
left
down
near...
next to like WH Smith and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you've got that one, and then there's one...
Did you just talk about the one that... Yeah, you just
There's
talked
two
about
at
the
the
one
top,
at the top.
and then one there. There's one further down if you head towards the train station that's a sit-down one
Yeah,
and
it's like sort of
24
towards
hour.
the gate.
Yeah.
Just down from the gate towards like...
There's one in Eldon Square.
Yeah.
There's one opposite the M&S at the train station.
Is there one in the train station? No.
No,
Okay.
because it's so close to
Because
opposite.
it's so close to all the other ones.
But honestly, whichever route you take, if you need to go from top Northumberland Street to the station,
Yeah.
you will pass at least
Like,
4.
you pick anywhere in Newcastle City Centre and I don't think you're more than 5
Yeah.
minutes away.
There's even one in Jesmond. There's a sushi bar and there's a Greggs. It's weird.
It's incredible.
And they both do equally good business.
And even when you come out of the city centre, Lucy, because today we have came to my house instead, which is like 15 minutes out of town, and she was like, well, where are we going to go? There was 3 Greggs.
Yeah. I
On
was
the
like,
way
I
from
wonder,
Newcastle
yeah.
City Centre to my house,
I don't know
there is
why
a
I
minimum of
questioned
3
it.
Greggs, maybe more, but there's definitely 3 that are like on the direct route
Yeah.
from the city centre to my house. And we went to the first one and got everything we wanted and then
Yeah,
came
they had
straight back.
everything.
But if we couldn't have, we had like plan B and plan C.
Yeah.
And they were both like en route. Like we literally wouldn't have had to go out the way to go to either of them. So they're everywhere. That's a good thing. So good price. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they serve you quickly.
Serve you quickly.
You can sit down in some of them if you want to.
Yeah.
And they're quite pleasant to sit in. I used to sit
Yeah,
in
they're
those
fine.
rows.
They're fine. They're
It's
generally,
decent.
it's not like a popular thing to do. So like you
get a
even
seat.
when it's quite busy, you'd probably be able to sit down.
And they make it... Actually, I'll tell you, it's nicer to sit in than Subway. Subway's not pleasant to sit in.
Oh, okay.
But Greg's, like, they had, like, where... In the 24-hour one in Newcastle, they had, like, sofas and...
That's another thing.
Yeah, it's big. The
24-hour Greggs.
Welcome
Like, that's
to
a
Newcastle.
real thing. Welcome to Newcastle, yeah. It really annoyed me that... Remember that story that was like... how there's two Gregs across the road from each other. Literally, you can like walk out of one and go to the other one.
Uh-huh.
It was in the big market,
Yeah.
but it wasn't true because one of them was shutting and moving into the other one.
Yeah. They were just
So just for the record, anyone who's not from Newcastle, that story wasn't true, by the way.
It's not a thing.
We
They
are
are
really
every-
bad for Greggs, but
They
we're
are
not
everywhere,
that bad
but
for
yeah.
Greggs. We did not open two literally facing each other.
You know, we walked past Quiznos yesterday and I think they've gone out of business.
R.I.P. Quiznos.
In it.
It's about time.
It made no sense for them to be there.
No. They're in one of the worst spots they could have been in. And obviously,
There
your
are
choice
3
is very
subways within like a 10-minute distance.
limited. Yeah. Just go somewhere where there's no subways, if that
Yeah.
place even exists anymore. It's like
don't
trying to find a
think-
place where there's no McDonald's.
There's no market for them. Quiznos, you just leave it.
Unless you just have to do something totally different. You either have to go the Five Guys route of being like, it's posh sandwiches and they're more expensive.
Agreed, yeah,
Or you
yeah.
have to go the Eat for Less route and be like, this is going to be mega cheap sandwiches.
And, yeah.
You can't just be at the same price point as Subway and expect people to go there. They're not. They're going to love Subway.
It's laughable.
Even if it did taste a bit better, but people hate change. Like,
Yeah.
people are not going to stop getting Subway.
They know which sub they want and they're going to go and buy it.
And you didn't get there first.
You
So if you're not going to
didn't.
get there before Subway, you got no chance, mate.
Quiz no chance.
Quiz no.
Quiz no chance.
I like it. So what we're trying to say by doing this podcast, really, I think we've well and truly done the spring cleaning here.
Yeah, Greggs can't do Christmas, but they can do life.
They can do everything else.
Yeah.
We never said we hate Greggs. We would never claim to do such a thing.
No, I've never said that Greggs is minging.
Stop giving us beef.
In it.
Unless it's in a steak bake.
Unless it's a steak bake. That wraps it up. That bakes it up.
Yeah, I think we've done it.
Greggs is fine. They're good at what they do.
Yeah, and like another thing, we need to talk about Milligan's, obviously, and we need to like look into that.
Yeah.
But they haven't got a whole load of competition.
No.
And maybe they used to,
haven't.
because obviously a bakery, like a good local bakery, is like a classic thing to have in like a town.
But they've
But
dominated
as you
it.
said, they've just full
'Cause
on
those-
KO'd those guys.
Those things can't coexist.
No.
So Greggs really have just like they've murked them.
Yeah, they have. They've completely done
It's a
them.
bit sad, but that's how
It's
it
a bit
is.
sad, but it's life.
That's how the world works.
It's the way we like our lives to be. It's convenient, it's cheaper, we know what we're getting.
Yeah, it's trustworthy.
As much as you'd love to go to your local bakery, they're not there anymore.
Sorry,
so,
guys. Remember though, just don't go to Five Guys.
yeah, we got to finish off by saying that as always.
We might make that the slogan.
I think so.
Although maybe not so as not to incur trouble with the
Yeah,
people
let's not
of
get into
Five
some
Guys.
lawsuits and shit like that.
But just don't go. And yeah,
And go to Greggs.
go to Greggs instead.
Just not at Christmas.
Not at
Go
Christmas.
to Greggs from January to November.
when you're not feeling festive.
The moment they start throwing out those Christmas sandwiches, just stay away. In fact, keep going to Greggs in Christmas. Just don't eat the Christmas food.
Just eat the normal produce.
Just eat as normal. If you want to break from the Christmas festivities, just go to Greggs and get a normal meal.
Yeah.
No Christmas stuff.
Hope you've enjoyed this, guys.
Yeah, thanks for that, everyone.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year and go to Greggs. Because we like Greggs, I promise. We really do.
Really, we do.
We do. Right, goodbye, everyone. See you in a week's time.
Bye.